Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxler, technical trader at detectrader.com. It's Wednesday night, October 3rd, and these are the charts of the day at detectrader.com. We're going to talk about both longs and shorts today. There were some significant moves on some of the longs, particularly a few of them. But starting off alphabetically as usual, ALR, that's Lear, had a significant breakout today across key resistance and a base that basically thwarted the advance or set up the advance for the last several months. Now, the gap here in May was nearly filled, although the stock did close sharply up 9%, 2.75 million shares, up $1.76, and not far off the high for the day. So I'm looking for a follow through. Minor resistance around 22.5. Beyond that, my secondary target's up around 26, 27. Up next is BIOL, which had a significant price volume surge today. You can see the big move last year in 2011, but then from the April high, it went all the way down for more than a year, dropping from the near 7 range down to $1.50 or so. But it's popped recently, and today in particular, it popped 56 cents or 34% on 3.6 million. A big jump in volume as well, breaking the declining tops line and lateral price resistance, which has thwarted it for about a year now. So perhaps a breakout. We'll see if we get a follow through. Watch today's high 237. Takes that out. My next target is 305, followed by 3.5 to 3.75 is my next target. BLRX, well, interesting, this Bioline RX had a spike up in February of this year, and then came down from the 5.75 range all the way back down towards 2.25. After basing out for several months, it made a little bit of a move last week and backed off, held the moving average, and today popped with a breakaway gap, getting all the way up to 3.25 before closing at 305. It was up 44 cents. That was a 17% gain. And volume increased to the biggest volume this year since February anyway. And so perhaps a significant breakout here. We'll have to keep watching this one. It's a low price little puppy, but we may see it move. My next target is 3.75 followed by 4.5. CAMP, been in a beautiful rising trend. That's CalAmp, CAMP. You can see the parallel beautiful rising channel. The stock broke out above resistance here, and it's now at secondary resistance in this zone. Should it get through, I believe we can see extension that gets this into the 11.5 range near the top of the channel. CSU, that's Capital Senior Living. A lot of stocks in this group have done very well in the last year. This one's gone from 5.5 up to 16. And more importantly, long-term resistance on the weekly chart, if you go back a ways, you'll see that this stock has had, I'll have to go back even further, way back in 98, 99. That's a long time ago. We had highs in this area. Well, today we took out those highs. And by the way, the near-term resistance had been taken out about a week and a half, a couple of weeks ago. Let's take a look. Right up in this range here. The stock's moved steadily since then, up to resistance, backed off, and today popped through, jumping $1.12 or 7.5% as volume increased to the best volume in a week. This could, if it doesn't stall right here near the top of the channel, accelerate into the high teens. ELLI has been a monster all year, one of my favorite charts of the year. You can see after breaking out of the trend in February, around the 6-7 range, the stock has moved steadily higher to more than quadrupling. And after a big consolidation for the last several weeks, you can see how it's tested here, and again today popped 215 or 8%. That was on 1.2 million. That was the biggest volume in a couple, 3 weeks. So basically, if we do get through the spike high here at about 30.40, keep an eye on that level, we could see the stock get into the mid-30s. Local motion, I call it local motion. Local.com, LOCM, after breaking a long downtrend here, also today in one fell swoop broke lateral price resistance and the downtrend, along with this 50-day moving average, all of it broken in one day. After a pop a week ago, it coiled for 3 days on low volume. Today, accelerated a 19% gain, which may be the breakout we were looking for. Next target is 2.75, followed by 3.25, 3 3/8. That would be my next target zone of resistance. Swing trade SAAS continues to do well, and after the pop and breakout here where we recommended it, pulled back, popped, coiled, and then broke out again today, reaching as high as 716. I still think we have more to go, perhaps up at around 8 or better, but the short-term pattern looks intact and looks good. Monster of the midway today was SRPT, jumping 200% in one day. Just a couple days ago, when it broke out of the flag here, we gave you a buy on it. It pulled back for a day or so, and then exploded today. A monster move. Now, the reason I'm showing it to you is not to dwell on the things that happened in the past, but more importantly, that when we see these kind of patterns and the big breakaways like it had here, we often see the stair step up. Well, I'm looking for a pullback, but if it does give you a pullback in the, say, 38 to 40 range, you may see the stock consolidate and then move higher. I'm looking for mid 50s and then high 60s, eventually in SRPT. Baringo had a big day today as the judge ruled in its favor with the Google case, and the stock exploded from 301 to 430, closing right at the high for the day, going away, and was trading even higher in the aftermarket, which indicates to me that maybe this line will be tested and maybe taken out. First target will be a spike high at 545. Look for that, and perhaps even further if it goes through up towards the 6-7 zone. And lastly, today on the long side is Zogenix. And I've been watching this for quite a while, a year now. You can see how the base and the coil here resulted in a pop breakout, consolidation, and then the last 2 days broke out again over, especially today, across key resistance that's held it back for a year and a half. Now at the declining tops line and key resistance taken out, we have some minor resistance up and around the $4 range, which may be tested short term. That's my immediate target. But a secondary target could bring this up towards 5. Switching over to the short side real quickly, you'll see that we start off with CEC, one of my favorite shorts all year. Slam dunk, wedge, another one, wedge. It's at a 1, 2, 3, 4 wave move. I'm looking for 5th wave to take it down into the mid-20s. SIVA, pretty negative looking pattern, continues to look negative, and I'm looking for a test at the bottom of the channel around 11.5. CNW, recent swing trade on the short side, you can see broke here from the wedge. That's where we gave you a sell right here. It came down for a few days, formed a little bear wedge. Certainly looks like it wants to go lower. Next target around 24.5, secondary target around 21.5, 22. Forward air, which is broken and looks like it's got downside pressure, may very well see lower levels. Looking for a test of the 27 zone, followed by a possibility of a move down towards 24, ultimately. Monster Beverage. Well, Monster has been in a beautiful uptrend for a long time. It was a Wall Street darling, but it finally broke, snapped back, broke again from the wedge, collapsed, snapped back again, rolled over once again, and now it's wedging again. So certainly no signs of an end to this decline, and perhaps if it does stall right here and start to roll over, if this is taken out, this wedge here, look for a rollover to test the lows around 50, and possibly even a full away move down into the mid-40s. True Religion looks like it's finally broken. After this big breakaway gap to the downside and a large multi-month wedge, it rolled over hard here. We participated in that. But then it's formed this little wedge here, and I put you another short on it. Well, it's moved slowly and painstakingly lower, but it has broken this line, and now may very well be up for a test of the 20.25 level. If that breaks, look for something around 18.5. And lastly, today's Walter Energy, which continues to crumble. It's gone all the way down from 140 down to 30, and yet it still looks like it's going lower. Ultimately, I believe the stock could be in the mid-20s. And that's it for tonight. Good luck, everyone, and have a good day tomorrow.